This is something that has been really grinding my gears the past couple of months. So much so that yes, I did open the video with a Family Guy bit.
You know what really grinds my gears? You.
But seriously, this is something that has been happening for years and no one seems to understand, especially Americans. And I know some of you are watching. I have checked my channel analytics and you guys make up 60% of the viewer base. And of course, that is the worldwide problem of British people complaining about the summer every single year. You will see this time and time again. Every single year when it hits May, June, July, August, you will have like British people complaining and then the Americans making fun of them. Like, oh, you in 25, 30 degrees? What about 40 degrees in Ohio? Now, what I don't think the world understands is that when in the UK, the temperature escalates above 25 Celsius, and yes, I'm going to say 25 Celsius because no one uses Fahrenheit apart from complete degenerates. Past 25C, we begin to boil and cook alive. Now, temperatures in the UK can get as bad as 30 degrees, even 40 degrees like last year. Now, me saying that right now, I can hear audible laughing outside my house all the way from America, Australia, and a bunch of other tropic countries. I think especially Australia is laughing because their winter temperature is usually around 30 degrees. What people don't seem to understand is why it gets so hot in the UK. There are multiple factors. The first and most important one being our entire society just hates us. I feel like I'm doing a Heath Ledger joke a bit, like I'm society, but it really is that problem. Let's start with Australia. You probably thought I was going to start off with America. You guys, you're not as important as you think. Please, just stop. So for example, in Australia, a lot of the cities have developed across the coastline. So, you know, they get that cool ocean breeze. But if you're in the UK, for example, somewhere like Birmingham, if anyone's watching this and you live in Birmingham, I used to live there. Get out. You need to get out. For those that don't know about Birmingham in the UK, not Birmingham, Alabama, it is, it's not the best place, but most importantly, geographically, it is the most inland city possible, so it gets the most hot. Maybe London beats it because of the amount of like pure buildings, but it's usually Birmingham. But anyway, more on Australia, their houses, for example, are usually built out of wood and they're elevated, so they can actually get some kind of like cool air from, you know, the underboards. And also the elephant in the room that's going to make everyone do a big collective sigh. Air conditioning in the UK is completely non-existent. We just don't have it. I mean, like some corner shops, some stores, some supermarkets, they have AC, usually to keep the food cool, but like inside a house, there's nothing. I myself, I am gifted and privileged and one of the 3 people in the entirety of the UK to have air conditioning. The other 2 is probably KSI with 2 units, but no one has them. When I bought my unit, the guy that dropped it off, he basically told me, no one else has bought a unit. You are the first one. The problem is no one's really investing in an AC unit. And when I mean an AC unit, I'm talking about one that is actually installed into the wall with a back extractor fan that pulls out air from the outside and pumps it in. I'm not talking about those shitty little fans that you fill with ice that you get off TikTok shop and they last about 10 minutes anyway. The problem is what a lot of people do is when they go to bed in the UK and they complain about the heat, they set a fan up in their room. But unlike an AC unit, which has, you know, external air from the outside blowing in, a fan is just blowing hot air around the room. Also, it's because to get an installed unit in the UK, like one into a wall, you're looking at probably around $1,000 at least. Also, to anyone that's renting a house and they don't own it because, you know, they still live with their parents, like most Paracynical viewers, or if they took out a mortgage that's going to outlive them 30 times over, good luck. If you're renting, good luck, bro. If you're in like some kind of uni accommodation right now, kiss your ass goodbye. And obviously, another elephant in the room, apart from the AC problem, is the fact that UK houses are always designed to keep heat in. For example, you know the wooden buildings I talked about that are pretty common in Australia? In the UK, it's brick. It is thick, 3-foot wide brick. And the windows, we got loads of windows. Like, windows are great, but the problem is they're pretty much all double glazed, which means, again, they're meant to keep heat in. One thing I love is every single year in the UK, when there's a heat wave, the news corporations, they just have no fucking idea what to suggest, so they just say, drink plenty of water. Drink plenty of water. Yeah, no, I'll drink plenty of water. I'm sure it'll make the situation in my office better, where it's a toasty 30 degrees, but because the heat kept in and the humidity, it feels like fucking 80 degrees. Believe me when I say the humidity in the UK during the summer is absolutely unbearable. The only comparison that I can make is a comment I saw on TikTok. I know that sounds really bad. Bear with me on this. They made a comment basically saying that if you bit into the air, you would actually feel like you're biting into a sandwich because like just the texture of the humidity. I'll be honest, I really used to like summer. Okay, look how pale I am. I've never liked summer. I'm basically the guy in that meme that sees people outside enjoying themselves and he shuts his curtains to go back on his PC. The worst thing is about humidity is it always makes the temperature feel worse than what it actually is. And the final boss of the UK heatwave, the final boss is sleeping at night. If you get anything more than like 4 hours of sleep, good luck, bro. Because at night, the heat becomes basically tropical and there's no breeze. You could keep your window open. Great, now you've got like 5 moths in your bedroom and you didn't get any more sleep. My bed sheet at the minute, I've had to like swap it out for a literal paper towel and I'm still gonna sweat into it every night anyway. The problem is with the heat, I'm gonna try and use a little bit of science here. Basically, because of the humidity, when the sweat on you evaporates, it takes so much longer to do so. So that's the reason why you find it harder to keep cool and the same reason why you feel just disgusting and sweaty all day and you feel like you need to take like 4 showers. I've been doing this all day, right? Just impulsively like putting my tongue on my hand. I feel like I'm tasting a fucking stick of salt. If you do that, by the way, and you don't get the same reaction, congratulations, your house has air conditioning. But you know what? God was absolutely not done with us because a couple days ago, we had a terrible thunderstorm that was all over the UK. The only video I could find was this, where the person filming it just gets attacked by a sign randomly. And then after that, it got even more fucking humid because the rain brought down all the trapped heat. And I do want to say to all the naysayers out there, to all the people that saying I'm just coping, here is an American, by the way, explaining pretty much everything I've said.
How does the UK heat compare to other countries' heat? Okay, I can answer that. So one of the hottest countries I've probably ever been in is Qatar. And we're talking well above 45 degrees Celsius. Really, really hot. But it's a dry heat. The closest comparable to here would be American Deep South, where we're talking about a summertime Celsius 40, 41, you know, really hot, sometimes really hot, and high humidity, just like here. High humidity. The difference is there, though, when it's hot, it just stays hot. It doesn't do this hot and then cool, like put a jacket on. This weekend it's going to be boiling hot again. It doesn't do that. It just stays hot. And we have AC. There's not a lot of AC in the UK. I've gone in the stores, it's been hot. At night, sleeping, I have windows open. I don't understand in the UK, when it gets hot, the wind stops blowing. Look at this. See that? There's sheep. They've been sheared. Windmills. But when it's hot, all of that stops. The wind stops blowing. Can someone explain?
The worst thing is as well, it is genuinely harder to get body heat out of yourself if the temperature outside is closer to your body's temperature. So that heat wave we had last year that went up to like 40 degrees, it was horrible. Like you were just coping every single day. You couldn't go out, you'd burn. You couldn't lie in your bed because you just sweat into the bed. And also, if you lived anywhere above a ground floor, you can kiss your ass goodbye because heat travels upwards. I feel like me talking about heat, I feel like I'm talking about like a Resident Evil like nemesis type boss that just follows you throughout the entire game. You cannot get away from it. You cannot. I'm sure regardless, I'm still going to have Americans coping in the comments. Oh, just buy, why don't you buy a $1,000 AC unit with a 3-month wait time? I know this feels like a very pointless and rambly video. Welcome to the second channel. If you didn't notice that before, you're noticing a little bit too late. But more importantly, I do want to say, and I mean this 100% genuinely, if I did not have that AC unit installed in my room, I would probably take a break from YouTube until like July. This AC unit over here in the corner of my room is basically my fucking quick revive perk machine.
Come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth. I'm feeling romantic.